This all sounds above board to me. I say let's go right in there and seek out this priestess. The chances of her implanting us with strange alien spores, highly unlikely.
Low, right?
So let's go. Yeah,
it's got to be low. That's already happened once.
Right.
All right. You're making your way to Leviathan. You need to cross this one pass through the hills to get into, again, the vast plains where Leviathan and its merry band of outlaws and malcontents weaves around and around in a vast circle. You come in on a valley along hillsides. A river, of course, runs through. You see more and more signs of civilization. First, the sheep herders out there leading their herds about. Then finally some outlying fields. And then coming around a crest, there's a brief rise, and you see the town itself sprawling at the bottom of the hillside where it runs into the river, the hovels and shacks of the people who work the land and farm the fields. Further up, a walled-in level community where presumably the townsfolk and better off live. A small castle overlooking the road, and of course allowing them to charge tolls to anyone who comes through. And finally, up above that, on a plateau rising above the town, everything so far seems perfectly normal. But on this high plateau, a massive statue of a demonic head only, looming, lurking up off of the plateau, looking down on the valley beneath.
Perfectly normal.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing you might see in any modern day community.
Is it the Zardoz head?
It is not. It is not.
So, do the eyes, are they looking at you?
They are not. They don't seem to follow you. It's you're looking at this from a great distance and from beneath, but there's no, flame or moving eyeballs or anything like that. It's still, all things considered, kind of a disquieting thing to have looming over one's hometown. As you approach closer and closer, you make out more details. People, again, tending the fields. But over there, in an open patch of ground, is what appears to be a small detachment, a company maybe, of troops, not looking like they're from here. In fact, you recognize the uniforms as that of the Iron King, those of you who have encountered them before and tussled with them before.
Shit-heels and bastards, one and all.
Yes.
And they have set up kind of a square camp, a small boundary wall around it. You don't even need a roll to discern this reality. The townsfolk seem to be steering well away from it. It's not like an active siege or hostilities or anything like that, but it does seem unusual that this company of troops from far away is just camped out in the valley outside of this town. Now, Dungeon World rules-wise, there are some common moves, and some of them are informational in nature, like spouting lore to see if you know things about people, places, or things. There's discerning realities to try to look and see what's going on. You could interact with, on the outskirts here, it is just the lowliest of peasants and herders, and of course the troops there. So do you want to approach the town straight out? Do you want to try to do things to gather information on your way in?
Tommy's gonna scour his mind and see if he can impress everybody with his knowledge of this place here. So I'll do a spout lore check here.
Okay, so you are thinking back to what you might know about Arnak, and you're
a
Tommy who's wandered the world. You know a thing or two. So you're going to roll plus your fine intelligence, if I'm not very much mistaken.
Yes, it's a +1 on my intelligence, so it's 2d6, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow, why did I think that everybody in this party was really dumb? Huh.
I'm not.
Oh no, it's just me. That's an 8.
Harold is neither very intelligent nor very charismatic.
Okay.
Same with Timothy. Hard to be charismatic when you got burns all over you.
On a 7 through 9, the GM will tell you something interesting. It's up to you to make it useful. 10 through 12, you'd have something really interesting and useful. Okay. Yeah, you know about Arnak. You haven't come through this town before, but you've heard a few things about it. It is run by a council of their guild leaders and religious leaders who have some sort of spiritual relation to the demon head. You're not sure if it's that they worship it or propitiate it or just live in fear of it and try to do things to protect themselves. But there is some sort of religion based on that. You do know that Arnak tends to look down on, especially the higher up folks in the town itself, looks down on, well, their own peasants, of course, and herders, but also on most outsiders who aren't of noble or high or wealthy backgrounds.
I hate this place.
Yeah, and it loves you.
Mm.
And nothing leaps to mind as to why they would be interacting with troops from the Iron King in
They
particular.
worship a demon head. They don't like outsiders, or they don't like the poor.
Yeah.
What was this place called again? Waukesha?
Arnak.
Arnak.
Ouch.
Waukesha.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And as far as you start to come into sight now, again, you're seeing the lowliest of the low out here, and they look at you and shy away. Nobody comes up to you. Nobody comes up to you with a word of greeting or a please stay in my hovel or anything like that. But they don't seem to be particularly frightened of you either, as some more remote communities might be of random outsiders showing up. It's clearly not an alien experience to have scraggly looking adventurers wander through.
Harold takes particular pleasure in looking as scraggly as possible.
Excellent.
And unkempt and uncivilized. And if anybody decides to look at him, he blocks eyes with them.
All right, yeah, and when that happens, on those rare occasions where somebody makes anything like eye contact, the moment you stare back, they suddenly find some lovely filth over here and start to work at it with renewed vigor.
Oh, how do you do?
I'm hoping you're going to ask him who lives in yon castle.
Yeah. Is there a marketplace?
There's no market outside of the town today. The walled-in part of the town, you see some activity in there. There's probably a small bazaar is a strong word, but probably a place for trade in there. You could probably buy and sell some small amounts. You see actually the grounds where the troops are now, you assume is where the weekly or monthly or whatever they might have market would set up.
Yeah, they're stomping all over the fairgrounds right now.
Mhm.
I mean, I expect a lot of this stuff we're not going to get a good price, except in the bigger town on the back of the zombie dinosaur anyway.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we're outside the walls.
You can we're kind of doing loosey-goosey time here. You can just approach the walls, or you can watch from and observe from a distance, or sneak about, whatever you want to do.
So how many troops are here approximately? Like a couple dozen or more than 100?
You're guessing, just a quick look, you're guessing 20 to 30 troops plus the sort of people who have to be there, carters and iron workers and things like that.
So something under 100 of them.
Oh, not 100.
No, I mean all told, the whole
50, 60
20, 30
probably.
troops plus. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So could we swan up to the main gate and just saunter in, or would these troops maybe remember us from that time they ran into us in the forest and we played them?
You did. You're thinking from the way you've traveled, probably this is a different unit. These aren't the same guys you saw way back in that encounter.
Well, what do you think? Do you think we need to sneak into this place, or we should just swan in?
No, let's just wander in. I mean, we're
Yeah,
here.
because it looks like it's kind of a dump. We should fit right in.
I mean, it's not going to be easy to hunt down any food, so if nothing else, I'm going to want a nice dinner at some inn or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you go by the troop. They're not far from the path you follow, but they show no interest in you at all. They seem to show no interest even in the townsfolk. There are some people clearly on sentry duty. As you go by, I mean, you've seen encampments of troops before and garrisons and things like that. It's puzzling to you how not chaotic it is. There's no dice rolling, no cards being played, no prostitution. In fact, everybody here seems to be part of this unit and seems to be taking pains not to interact with the townsfolk. It seems odd from what you've seen of troops in the past.
So I know this is a little metagaming, but a long time ago, I read, who was it? Oh God, it's a kid's book, and Disney made a terrible film of it.
Harry Potter.
The Meatballs?
No.
Wizard of Earthsea.
No. A wind. A wind. I remember the wind
Wind
in
in
the
the
door.
Willows.
Is the last
Wind in the
one.
Willows.
No. God damn it.
Anyhow,
Wait, Winnie the
Wrinkle
Pooh.
in Time.
Madeline Langle. Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, Wrinkle in
Yeah.
Time.
okay.
Yeah.
Wrinkle in Time. Yeah.
And I'm thinking, like, this sounds almost like it might be like when they go to Plotzcap or whatever that planet is, and everybody is like locked in sync and don't not really thinking independently. Is that kind of thing? Or like,
Rob's always just ripping plots from Madeline Langle books. So.
I actually haven't read or seen that.
Oh yeah.
You could, however, try to look closely and see if you can observe anything odd about this troop and make a discern realities roll.
I would like
if
to do
you'd
that.
like.
By the way, I know you're an adult, but read Madeline Langle. She's good.
I know
She
people
is.
have told me for
Very good.
years. I should read
She's
it.
very good.
I should read it.
Okay, sorry. So what kind of role am I making here?
Discern realities. When you closely study a situation or a person, roll plus wisdom.
Oh,
And
I think
then
I've got
if
good
with
wisdom.
successes, you'll be able to ask me questions. Well, 3 if you roll 10 or higher, just 1 question from the list.
2d6 plus 2 for the wisdoms. 9. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Okay. So you get to ask 1 question. Their suggested list is what happened here recently, what's about to happen, what should I be on the lookout for, what here is useful or valuable to me, who's really in control here, or what here is not what it appears to be.
I think
Obviously, not all those questions are applicable to all situations. But
I think the second to last question, who's really in control here, is a useful one.
okay, you watching the motions. I mean, these guys are going about the motions you would expect from soldiers, sharpening weapons, walking sentry, things like that. But you do see, it does seem like most of them are just doing regular patterns and not super engaged with the world around them. You see one person who doesn't fit that picture, probably a captain, since this is a company, a large guy in different armor, whereas most of them are in standard iron armor. This guy has a combination of iron and hides, and he towers above the rest of them. And you see him pointing them in different directions. And this guy seems like an animated person, and everybody else just seems to be following the orders that he's giving. Men and women, and by the way, in this army.
Okay, so well, suddenly I don't feel so bad about this iron guy. He's progressive. It's fine. I don't know what I ever had against him. Huh,
Yeah, and
okay.
it not is so much in a like the standard order giving way you might expect. But yeah, I mean, your thoughts about these guys being in sync, you kind of get that weird feeling about them.
Okay, so is he, when he's gesturing around, are these like, magical gestures? Are these kind of like, not ornate, but are they kind of like expressive in some unusual way?
It doesn't seem like he's doing like anything magical or anything like that. No.
Is he wearing like a torque around his head or bracelets or something that are obvious, or have a device? He's got something like a wand in his hand or anything.
Nothing in his hand. He's got actually when you look closer at his outfit, among his furs there are various metal badges and icons and things like that, all hanging and suspended, and jewelry. Maybe it's things he's taken from vanquished foes. Right. You don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
I would like to use an ability, if I may.
Ooh. You may.
Give me fuel, give me fire, and stare directly into this man's eyes.
Okay, so this is close enough. You'll have to actually step up to him, and whereas you've been observing from a safe distance so far, he will take notice of you. That doesn't mean you can't do it.
Do we want him to take notice, guys? Do we care?
I mean, you do what you want.
All right. Well, then I'm going to risk probably certain death.
Harold is not going to follow. In fact, Harold. But the reason Harold says this is like, yeah, he literally says like, you just do what you want. Like he's always kind of like spoiling for trouble with anything that has to do with civilization. So he's kind of hoping that this doesn't go well.
Of course you are. All right. Well, I'm going to walk up to him.
Okay. As you go up to the little small palisade, I guess, around their border, around their encampment, toward the end where he is, a couple of the sentries kind of step up and try to screen you off from him. But he takes notice and steps forward because you're doing what nobody else in this town is doing and showing an active interest.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I would like to look into his eyes and say, your names of your desire, in hopes that he will tell me what's going on here.
I serve the Iron King, and I'll do all he wants me to. And he kind of shakes his head like, well, like confused that he said that and volunteered it when his intention was to challenge you and why you're coming up close to the camp. And, you'd get more than that. Fuels the flame of desire. I serve the Iron King and do all that he asks, and he'll reward me greatly when all is done. And then he kind of shakes himself. You, move away from our camp. Go into the town. We don't want you here. And he's got what you would place as a far northern accent.
I will turn around without responding. Give him a brief nod, turn around, and walk back to my group.
Okay. And the rest of you see him staring balefully at your Immolator friend.
What did you learn, Timmy?
He serves the Iron King, who will reward him greatly in the end, but he didn't say what for.
Whatever.
He's an ugly guy, too.
Small-minded idiot.
All
right.
I'll pause for a moment. I see we have a name of Growly Pete. Does that mean we have a fighter?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Let's take a moment. Growly Pete, can you describe yourself?
Well, I'm Growly. So basically,
and you can choose from the look things in the upper left there, like built, lithe, ravaged, hard, dead, eager eyes, or throw in your own look if you want.
Oh. Yeah, no, he's ravaged.
Okay, nice.
His eyes are hard, and his hair is wild. And he's got a scarred skin, so it looks like he's, seen some shit. And there's a lot of fur, like, on the outside. It looks like he's made, like, his clothes are made out of fur, or you don't know if he has all of the fur. Got a beard, big mustache, and he's got a helmet on top with a spike.
Just describing yourself, Garrett.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, that's me. And he's got a mean looking axe, and he's just sitting there thumbing his axe, looking leaning up against a house and just growling.
Okay. Is it okay if we skip bonds for Garrett and move on to?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, your old acquaintance Growly Pete had joined you on your journeys here.
Wow.
He has
Good
needs
to see you again,
in...
Growly. It's been a long time.
Growl. I talk when it's important. Most of the time I growl.
That's good growling, boys. Okay. So as you turn to make your way up toward the town, the captain, if anybody glances, seems to look down at the ground for a moment, then looks up and says, "Wait a minute. You four, you lot, might have work for you if you want it."
Are you talking about the ugly guy?
Yes, the tall guy who seems to be in charge of the Iron King camp.
Okay, the one that I just approached. Okay.
The one that, yeah, and
Work.
and didn't seem to take kindly to you.
Yeah,
Mere moments
okay,
ago.
I'm gonna let the other dudes handle this one. Then I'm gonna step back for a minute.
Work? What's that? What kind of work? Oh, hold on. GM's interacting.
Yes?
Let me see. I suppose I should. What am I gonna do? Oh, fuck it. Yeah, I'll parley. I shall parley with this chap.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask him what kind of work he has in mind for us.
Oh.
Let's say it depends. Depends on what kind of work he's talking about. Maybe we're interested, maybe we're not. Do I need to roll for a parley?
Not yet. Hold that parley thought. He says, "Oh, it's not with me. It's the priestess you'll need to be talking to.
Oh, yeah.
She might have something you could do. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what she wants with lowlifes like ye."
Yeah, he turns to Harold and raises an eyebrow. Sounds like our kind of thing, Harold.
All right. I'm game.
Priestess, what can go wrong?
Everything. Let's go.
And he says, "Go into the town. Tell them I said to let you in. The riffraff they call a garrison here."
And who might you be?
"I'm Captain Olan.
Captain Olan.
If they give you a problem, just send them to me. They'll be quaking in their boots. Lousy riffraff. Once you're in, her servant will meet you there." Somehow he knows that. As though he'd communicated with her somehow. it occurs to you.
This all sounds above board to me. I say let's go right in there and seek out this priestess. The chances of her implanting us with strange alien spores, highly
gotta be low,
unlikely.
right?
So let's go. Yeah.
It's got to be low. That's already happened once.
Right.
It's like lightning. Okay. You make your way to the gate into the walled part. So up, also, you're going up along a hillside to a gate in the wall leading into the nicer, higher up part of town. Indeed, dropping Captain Oland's name has them open the gate for you quickly. It doesn't seem like it's incredibly high security, but obviously they don't want, mere herders and peasants wandering their way in and tracking dung or whatever they might do. Once within, you see, yes, there is a smaller market area. There are a couple stands up with food, a couple of shops for the higher falutin town folk here. Clearly, big market days would have to happen outside, but this is where, such as it is, the middle and upper classes of this town live, and dominating it is the castle and, of course, the giant demon head on top of the plateau looking down on you.
I'm looking, if there's a bite to be snagged on the way up, like, some gamey meat and, maybe some mushrooms.
Yeah, that's no
that.
problem. And you don't need to track coin for this level. For the coin you have, for a negligible amount of money.
I say we are rich beyond Croesus here.
Yeah, none of the townsfolk, again, seem to want to deal with you, but your money is just as good here as anywhere else. So you are able to undertake a quick meal. Do you want to try to swindle someone while you wait to meet with the priestess, or do you just want to move on?
Yes.
Not while I'm
Swindle.
eating. I want to focus on that swindle.
I want to
Okay.
swindle.
Go ahead. I'll let Tommy indulge his swindling.
Okay. So Tommy and Harold will do their swindle. Timothy and Growly, is there anything you want to do sort of in this main open square in the town before we proceed to your meeting with the surely delightful priestess?
I think that I will stand by as kind of a backup for said swindle should it go bad.
Okay. And Growly Pete?
Growly
That's not gonna go bad.
Gonna take 3 steps to the side and just keep an eye out.
Okay. I will give each of you observers you can make how about a wisdom roll? Just kind of while you're watching to sort of figure out what's going on here. It's not a full-on discern realities. Just, see if your powers of observation help you out at all.
Ooh, that was an 8.
Okay.
That's a 5.
Jenny? Okay. Yeah, you don't pick up too much, and you're focused. That's okay, because you're focused more on making sure that your buddies don't, get stabbed for the swindling. Growly Pete, you get the sense that this is a town. It wasn't just the peasant folk. This is a town on the edge. Everybody all the locals seem to be worried about something unusual. Maybe it is the presence of this group of outside warriors sitting right outside their gate, even though there's not active warfare going on, but just a generalized sense of fear and dread as you look around and just watch the facial expressions and movements of people. And they tend, again, to steer clear of you as outsiders. What does our standard swindle, Tommy and Harold, look like? I should have made up a move roll for you guys, but I don't have one. So we'll make something up. I believe you sold fake therapeutic relics or something like that?
No. We're
Herbal cures.
Yeah,
We did
herbal
do that.
cures. Yes.
We did do that. Yep.
Yes.
That's what it was. Yeah.
I
And
have
we have
plenty
just
of
the thing.
herbs.
Yes, we have just the thing. We have our powerful anti-anxiety medicine.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. If you're feeling fear, you don't like this place.
Oh yeah.
And how does it work? Do you sell directly to people, or do you recruit them to buy a starter pack and then sell it to people at the next level?
A little pyramid scheme going on.
I think you have to stay in the same place for a while.
Yes,
to
and we
establish
don't really
a
follow
scheme.
up to scrape up the bonuses from that. So
No.
these are individual sales.
If we can find some elderly, anxious folk, the more elderly, the better, or perhaps some infirm children.
Oh my God.
Infirm children.
Well, the good news is in here are the people with money. You wouldn't have been able to get anything out of the peasant folk outside, clearly.
Well, hence, that's why we're doing our business up here, as I should say. There's no scam involved.
Okay. So let's call this a charisma roll. Who's leading this, and somebody else can kind of assist.
No, I
Well,
can't be leading it.
yeah, Harold's munching down on. Harold's mouth is full of stuff. I've got a +1 on my charisma, so I'll be doing the charisma.
Mhm.
I am supplying the goods that make the grift look good.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to give you a +1 just for that aid here, Tommy.
Oh, so okay.
An
so
additional
two.
+1.
So 2. Okay. Here we go. God damn it!
Oh
Eight.
no, no es
Eight.
bueno.
Why?
Okay.
Why do the dice hate me so much?
Well, that's not a fail. That's a partial success. And what that will mean in this, since I don't want to get too bogged down in the grift, is you managed to pick up 3 coin from your sales, but you realize that the guards are marking you as somebody who, Garrus, the locals, are marking you as suspicious customers.
Can I use my shoot first move?
To shoot them?
I kid. Come
Okay.
on, continue.
I mean, do what you want to do. But yeah, so you've been marked by the town garrison as kind of suspicious customers. They're not going to round you up at this point, but their eye is on you now.
Okay. I'm just thinking, it would be kind of awesome just to get involved in a massive shoot for no reason. 3 coin. God damn it! Kill them all. Okay, but
Okay, after a bit of grifting and watching, yet another person dressed in the uniform of the Iron King's people, but this one more in robes, comes up to you and says, "You're the ones Captain Olin sent?"
Growly, growl, growl.
yes.
Don't listen to this guy farting. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tommy bows with a flourish and says, "Indeed."
The priestess is happy to see you now. You get the sense that happy is just an incredibly strong word from the
Yeah,
delivery.
there's a lot of that word is doing a lot of work.
It is. It really is.
She must be a regular user of our anti-anxiety medication.
Of course. So he leads you to what looks like a small but prosperous house of a merchant that it is clear has been at least temporarily dispossessed of their house. A couple of Iron King soldiers await at the front door, are stationed there as guards, but the priestess's assistant leads you in through the door past them. After a quick entry room off to the side is where this merchant presumably does business. You're guessing trade. There are some rugs and tapestries. You don't know what they do. You don't care. But this room has clearly been co-opted by the priestess. There's disarray where the owner's things are just thrown all around the edges of the room to clear out an area on the floor where all sorts of weird markings, lots of lines and angles and right angles are scratched into the ground. In the middle of it is somebody you recognize, similar to the priest you encountered, 2 of you in the past, as whatever religion works with the Iron King, this is it. You don't know what the deal is. Without looking up, she says, "Introduce yourself so that I may know you."
Hmm.
You can call me Harold. I do not bow.
Timothy Burns.
Tomi Tynglefingers, and he bows.
The name's Growly Pete, and he's going to curtsy and just let out a little fart, like a high pitched fart. What he does.
No. Timothy, by the way, just does his usual nod.
A few moments pass after you finish your introductions, nods, and farts. And she looks up to you, the edge of her cowl almost completely covering her eyes, but you see through her cheeks and ears and the flesh of her neck lots of needles and pins and shards of metal
Oh, she's Hellraiser.
woven throughout. Not completely covering all flesh, but lots of bits and pieces and scarred in. Clearly, this is accoutrements she's gathered over a long period of time. This is something that priest you saw in the wilds didn't have. You get the sense maybe that's a sign of more important or more fanatical. You're not sure which.
Well, I think we can safely say more fanatical.
You do not belong here, and that's acceptable to me. You may be able to meet certain needs for our king. We would be willing to pay you, and then you would leave. Go on the way you were going.
Mm.
Well,
You
what's
have the
job?
look of adventurers, she says, almost as enthusiastically as her servant said happy earlier.
So what did you have in mind?
We have an interest in, I'm sure you've seen the demon head up the hill.
Hard to miss.
Nope.
We are
Can't say
in
that I have.
negotiations with the townsfolk for entry, but it might expedite things if we could have what was within without their interference. Would you go into it tonight? Retrieve an item of my description. I will pay you and see you on your way. If
Wait,
you
wait, wait.
do.
So you want us to aid and abet an invasion of this town. Do I understand that correctly?
We have no interest in invading this town. We simply want something that is in that demon head. Their feeble superstitions preclude them from allowing us entrance, and we, it pains me to admit, have not been able to gain it ourselves.
What?
They are watchful too. If they see us, it would make negotiations more difficult. But if you could enter by night,
What is this thing that you can't recover? You've got a garrison of troops with you.
it is a slate, much like this one. And she pulls something out from underneath her robes. And it is an irregularly shaped slab of rock. And imprinted in it are, think, cuneiform writings, things carved within it. Again, lots of lines and angles. It's not a language you recognize or read. You needn't know, she says, what it is or what it does, but there is one of these in there, and we would like to have it.
Hmm. Hmm.
For how much?
For how much? You are practical people. We have some small, humble amounts of money, and she's just sort of playing at bargaining with you. 30 coin should be more than enough. Anything else you find within, apart from this, is yours to keep.
Is that like per person here?
Okay, now it sounds like you're parleying.
Okay, shit. Who's got a parley? My charisma is 13 for
Yeah,
a parley.
That's
Okay, but I'm
Can't be
rolling.
me.
That's the problem. Okay.
Okay, when you have leverage on a GM character, you do. They apparently need you to do this thing for them and are trying to manipulate them into paying you more.
Yeah.
Okay.
2d6 plus 1. Jesus Christ.
wow.
That's a 4.
I think we're now just getting paid 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Open the angel jar.
This is such a petty task. I would not think of paying you any more. Unless... And she pulls out a small metal box and opens it up, and it has 4 longish shards of metal. As a guarantee of your good services, we could enhance each of you with one of these.
Oh yeah. Okay, sign me up. Absolutely.
Yes, make it more reliable.
Sorry.
Harold and I are well into this. So we're already genetically modified. So what's another modification, Harold?
Yeah, but I have to admit, I don't really feel like bowing to these dummies. Let's take our 30 coin and go.
But we could take this stuff and sell it.
No, I think they're probably just going to shove it in our ass right now.
Hmm.
Well, she didn't say where.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's like, here, enjoy these for your own use. It's, we'll shove these in your ass, and then you're going to do what we want.
Again, it won't be your ass. That's just not the kind of GM I am.
It'll be your nipple.
Yeah, and it's one thing for a strange wizard dealing with interdimensional tree creatures to put a shard in you. It's another for a priestess of the Iron King.
Okay, let's just take the money and go.
Jesus.
Okay, good.
I just saw that.
Walt Disney does it again.
Wow, I'm surprised they let kids see this.
Oh, it was ages ago.
God.
He's pushing
Where did you
Donald
find
through
that?
the door. I don't
How
know.
did you find that?
I just typed in shove in ass. So,
This is what happens when you don't wear pants.
Oh my god.
God.
okay. We agree to the 30. We agreed
Okay.
to a 30. Let's go.
All right. So we can advance to after nightfall. Okay, so a human sacrifice is needed to get in, obviously.
Well,
Of
Growly's
course.
got to go use the outhouse for a minute, so that's not surprising.
He was showing signs.
He was showing signs for sure, per usual. right.
Okay. So unless you have more questions for the priestess or preparations you want to make, we can go right to the job.
Yeah, let's
job.
do the job.
What do you
Okay.
say? What do you say, Timmy? Are we good to go?
Yeah, we can go.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
You got your fire ready, don't you?
I got my fire ready always.
All right. Then
Fire is always ready.
I don't see how we can have any problems. We're gonna be all right.
Yep, I'll just burn it all down.
Tommy is sneaky and smart. You're Bernie. And I fill in the gaps. We're good to go.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Villadiasi, the priestess, tells you, where there's an old stairwell leading up to the plateau, stairs carved into the rock up the hillside. It is not entirely disused. There are signs of people going up and down. As you go up it, it's after dark. There is some moonlight, so you can make your way up here without having to light up torches or anything like that, or a burning brand, say. There are a couple of guards wandering around the plateau. They are not camped out right by the demon head. In fact, it appears that they're up there to sound the alarm in case somebody like the Iron King's people try to come up and get into there. But they live in fear of this crazy demon head, and they're not patrolling super close to it. In front of it, in front of the demon mouth, there are remains of various sacrifices. It looks like they do perishables mostly. Rotten foodstuffs are there now. Clearly, somebody comes up from time to time to sacrifice food, wine, maybe hunted animals, things like that, in hopes that the demon creature won't do whatever they fear it's going to do. It stands about 2 stories high. It's like got a closed mouth, but fangs protruding out from inside the mouth, large ears, a carved nose. A quick survey around it shows no obvious entrance, though.
But we're not going to be hindered in looking for such an entrance by these guards.
You can time it. I think I'm not even going to make you roll for stealth or anything like that. You can time it like they really don't want to stand next to this thing. So it's easy enough if one of you stands watch, you can gesture and, duck around the thing.
Yeah, I'll stand watch. Tommy, you're probably best at finding the way in, right?
Yes, I am, because I've got my tricks of the trade. I've got my, let me see. That's for picking locks, trap experts.
I can handcraft a key.
That's true.
Is there any evidence of a door?
Oh, we need some. Well, okay, I guess there's that. Well, I could also handcraft a crowbar.
Well,
that's it on through.
Can I do a discern reality here, maybe?
Sure, you can always
see if I can
do that.
See if I can find something here. What is that? Wisdom? Oh God, no, never mind. No.
Somebody else can do it if they have higher wisdom, though. You can all play to your strengths.
Yeah, my wisdom's pretty good.
Where's mine?
How about Jenny? You haven't rolled yet, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, no, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, go, Jenny.
So 2d6 plus your wisdom modifier, which is that your +2?
It is.
That's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
And so the big thing is now that we're in adventure mode, on 2s through 6s, it gives me a move, a chance to do something bad to you.
No, it's my +1. Sorry.
Oh, +1. Okay. Even better. Okay.
Wow, that sure sucked.
Okay. Yeah, so as you are looking around, trying to discern some realities of this thing, you realize that the reality is discerning you. The eyes in this, first, you think it's an optical illusion, but then you're sure. They start like this sickly pinkish glow starts to light up in the thing's eyes. And now it does seem like they are following you as you move around. There's a brief pulse. And glancing around, you see the 2 guards frozen in mid-motion. And all of you hear in your head, "What seek you?" And it's not like exactly in a language you speak, but you understand it.
What seek? Well, what do we seek?
Entrance.
So-
Admission.
We seek admission. We seek entrance.
All comes at a cost.
What
Does
cost?
Does it involve anything going in our asses?
What kind of primitive demon do you think I am?
Oh, he wants a sacrifice.
The peasants here give me rotten food and pathetic animals. No human blood has been left in eons, just a taste.
How about an angel? We got this jar with
Got
an
angel in a
it.
jar.
I gotta admit, this thing's been bugging me for months. I've got this angel in a jar. What happens if we open it?
No, it just wants some blood, right?
Just a taste.
Okay,
Where?
so this is how it's going down. Somebody hand Timothy a dagger, please.
No,
You
you
got
got
one?
one. All right,
Yep.
go ahead.
So Timothy gets a dagger. He slashes his hand, his palm of his hand, and squeezes blood and flings it towards the demon.
Okay.
He then cauterizes the wound.
Ooh,
Excellent.
very nice.
So you can pick taking 1, 2, or 3 points of damage, depending on how much blood you want to let. You don't really have a sense of how much is enough, but
3 hit points.
whoa,
3.
okay. Full 3.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, so tasty. All give me blood. No,
Oh wait, no.
a deal was forged. And
Oh,
then the thing quivers a bit, and then it opens at the mouth. Some weird, impossible hinge opens up the entire structure at the mouth, allowing a 3-foot gap for you to crawl within.
Oh, in we
Right.
go.
Okay, now you are weirdly inside Giant Demon Statue. It is pitch dark. You just have a little bit of moonlight trickling in from the outside. All you could tell from the flickering shadows is you're in a small, weirdly shaped chamber just inside this thing's mouth.
Now, the mouth isn't going to snap shut on us in some weird way, right?
Blink, blink.
What can we see within this chamber?
Just with the outside moonlight, not much. You are at ground level in this thing. The entry, such as it is, extends in a few feet and then angles upwards, and you can see there's some kind of chamber up beyond that you could clamber up to.
Timothy, can you spark us up a bit of light here?
Actually, hold on. Since you gave 3 full hit points, you get in your heads, watch for the Guardians.
Watch for the Guardians. We have to watch for the Guardians, everybody.
Okay.
Timothy, is there a stick or something around that
I
can
can
use?
cast light essentially for nothing, so I can
Okay.
create light out of nowhere.
There you go. All right. I think that would be more effective than me burning something.
Okay.
Yep.
So for a druid casting, or you're casting the cleric cantrip
Yep.
light,
That's right.
it
The
is
rote.
still. I don't think it's interesting to make you roll to do that. So yes, you conjure up enough light, and so yes, you see now on the inside this hewn rock, strangely dry. You might think, oh, this place that has been contained up for so long would be mildewy and humid and gross, but no, it's a dry and preserved and a weird rock that is clearly not from around here. Strangely cool as you get close to it or touch it. The entry on this thing's mouth, again, there's just like a slanted little clamber up a wall into a chamber beyond.
Go up.
Yeah.
Okay. You climb up into this chamber, and this you realize must take up.
Probably should have surveyed that before we went up, but we're up now.
Oh, like as in checking for traps?
Yeah. And just danger. Yeah.
Okay. You can do that now if you want. You up the edge to the lip, and this is clearly this is the bulk of the interior. If you've read the dimensions right and they're not magically weird, this is the bulk of the space taken up by this demon head statue. The ground is circular and tilts downward toward the middle and ends in a soft curve. Around the periphery of it, is more of this weird cuneiform writing all around. gibberish as far as you're concerned, but there are patterns and regularities that suggest that it is clearly language. Painted on the walls are humanoid figures, again decorated with this cuneiform all over. Figures holding weapons, axes, and swords in their hands, but two-dimensional, painted along the wall. There are no obvious containers or chests or anything here, but at the bottom of the, I guess, bowl we'd call it, though it's a very shallow tip of it, there is a circular area, nicked and carved and with strange coloration in it. Maybe, perhaps, but lots of very down there. What do you do?
Growly, growl, growl.
Can Tommy borrow Harold's knife?
Okay.
Tommy will take. Or do I already have a knife? Oh, I have a dagger. Never mind.
You have a dagger. That's how you backstab people.
Yeah. Tommy would like to go down to this bowl thing or whatever in the center and maybe give himself a. Seeing as we're all going slash crazy here, he'll open up his hand and dump some blood into this bowl.
As Tommy goes down, the whole room, the edge of it seems to shimmer in and out of focus for a moment, but then returns. Tommy, how many hit points worth are you doing here?
Oh, 3.
Okay. The blood pools there for a moment and then suddenly sucks down into the ground, like way faster than it should, if nature were doing anything here. Then the bowl, the base of it slides open, again, somehow retracts through no visible means, revealing a niche underneath. In the niche is, you can see with the light from the light spell, a box, a flat oblong metal, about the right size you think it could potentially contain the slate in question.
All right. Can we open it?
Doesn't say true death on it by any chance, does it?
It does. I don't know why I left that out.
Cut deep.
No, it says to blave. To blave.
Well, I guess, Tommy's down here, but I don't want to be stealing people's limelight or anything. If
No, go ahead.
somebody else wants to go grab... Oh, no. Tommy, go ahead and grab it. Okay. Tommy.
You're right there. Why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you find it and then walk away?
Yeah, Tommy will grab it. Tommy will take it out. He'll slide it out.
And are the rest of you still just looking over from the edge here?
Yes.
Okay. So you grab it with no problem. No sudden trap pops out and snaps your hand off or anything like that. And you think how strangely easy it was. And just then that out of focus thing happens again and the humanoid shapes step out of the wall.
Oh, the
still
guardian.
two-dimensional. Their cuneiform writing on them quivering in the dark. They keep the color of the stone around them, but all 6 of them converge, charging at Tommy. Tommy has his hands full for the moment. Greasy Pete, you see this happening, and Tommy, who you have some attachment to, is clearly in dire danger if you suspect these weird two-dimensional weapons will function much like the real thing.
Okay, it's Growly Pete time.
All right.
So, I'm gonna, I guess, is that hack and slash?
That will just describe what you want to do narrowly, and when it triggers a move, we'll make that roll happen.
So, Growly Pete's been itching for a fight, literally. And so he's just going after this thing. He sees it's going after Tommy. He's not going to discriminate.
There are 6 of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to try and go after the one at Tommy and then get ready for the rest of them.
Okay. And they're all converging on Tommy. I want to make that really clear. Okay.
Oh, fair enough. So yeah, he's going to try and make himself big, mean, and scary and just attack the nearest one to him.
Okay. Mechanically, there are 2 options kind of. Hack and slash is quite right. If you want to attack them and they have the option to hit back, that's hack and slash. You could defend. When you stand in defense of a person, item, or location, you would roll Constitution, and you'd have the opportunity to draw attacks from poor Tommy or have a chance to hit them on their way. But that's up to you. I leave that as your choice.
I want to try hack and slash. Let's just go straight forward with it.
Excellent. So that is your 2d6 plus your strength modifier.
Okay, so that's a +2. All right, kitty, don't fails me now. Oh, jeez. So that's a 6. Roll the 6 plus a 2. That's an 8.
8. Okay, that's not too bad. You deal your damage to the enemy, but it will make an attack against you. So your fighter damage, I believe, is a D10, but your special weapon, I don't know if you chose its special nastiness, might affect that.
So it was versatile and serrated edge, so that's +1 damage. So I'll get a D10 +1. Nope. Just 1. Okay, so that's 6 + 1. Do I add my strength modifier?
I think I got it. It's been a while since I've done this. Sure. Yes.
Okay. So then that would be 9.
Ooh, very
9
nice.
damage.
Okay. Yeah. So one great bit of news is you hack along it and you weren't sure until you hit it. Like, is this some sort of weird supernatural thing? Your axe is just going to pass through it? It is not. Your axe slashes along it and it feels weirdly 3-dimensional as you hit it. And a weird gout of some like puffy material gouts out of it and down to the floor. But this one has a weird curved scimitar and slashes back at you for 3 damage. And now, did you pick? I think you have armor.
I did.
Yeah, you
scale
chain
armor
or
and
scale.
shield. So I got +3 for the armor.
I'm sorry, it's chain and shield or scale and shield.
Chain and shield. Or, I'm sorry, scale and shield. Scale and shield.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it glances harmlessly off of your shield and armor, though you feel like this thing looks like it's paper thin, but you feel weight behind it and it bumps you back a little.
Okay.
Okay. Tommy, poor Tommy, waits helplessly. What is Timothy Burns doing now? Turning and fleeing, I assume.
No, Timothy Burns is coming down to help.
Okay.
But before he does that, can I send a bolt of burning brand down there?
Yeah, so you're going to fire up your burning brand.
Yep.
So that is a move. When you conjure a weapon of pure flame, roll plus your constitution.
Okay.
So you're going to get the brand no matter what, but you'll get, with this move, you get benefits for partial or full success.
Now you're talking about my constitution modifier, yes?
Correct. Exactly. Yep.
Okay. All right. 8.
All right, so you've got your burning brand. It appears, it maybe looks like a sword. I don't know. It always begins with a fiery touch and dangerous, and you have 3 uses with it. And then you get to pick one bonus. So it's in touch range. You can expand its range so you can reach somebody from a little further away. Or you can make it a thrown weapon so you could throw it at somebody.
Yes,
Or
I'm going to make it. I'm definitely going to make it thrown. Yep.
Okay. All right. So you are throwing it at one of the targets. So it'll be a ranged attack, but I think you make this attack with wisdom, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, you may treat your intelligence as your strength or dex, or you could just use your dex to throw it. It's your choice.
Can I use my strength or my dex? Either one.
Strength if you hit them with it, dex if you throw it. Yeah.
I mean, it has to be thrown because I'm still on the lip of the.
Yep. Exactly.
Thing. All right. So in that case, it's a dex. All right.
Yeah.
I don't have any modifier on dex, so 2d6.
Or you could sub in intelligence if you have a plus for that because of the burden.
I do not have one, so it's 6.
Excellent. So 2d6, and you got a 6. Oh, okay. So you use one use of your brand. That's 1 of 3. So just keep track of that. But the negative consequence is the one you would have hit was coming up behind poor Tommy and is dealing its damage with its weird ghostly weapon. This one, a dagger.
Oh dear. Sorry, Tommy.
That's just 2 points, Tommy. Not too bad. And before the mob converges on him, well and truly, we've got Harold up top.
I think Harold should turn into a bear.
Nice.
So I do have to roll for that.
Shapeshifter. Roll plus wisdom.
10.
A 10. Okay. That's a full-on success. On a 10, you get 3 hold. So you have 3 opportunities to do a bear-type thing. That could be something like mauling or crushing or something like that.
That's the first thing we're going to do is we're going to maul the closest threat to Tommy.
Okay, so you're like diving down onto one of these things.
Yeah, barrel down, if you know what I'm saying.
Ha ha!
Yep. And
or you have another move is to catch salmon. If
Ooh.
You'd rather do that. Oh. Salmon's pretty tasty.
It is. I don't know that the river here is all that
Okay,
probably
fair.
not that well stocked. Yeah, let's do the mauling.
Okay, so Tommy, you see a giant bear leap over you into one of these things.
And I suppose I should
The
use
good news
my...
is, regardless of your result here, it's going to propel this thing away from Tommy. That's going to
Very
be
good.
one less that is going to have a chance to hit him.
Should I use my strength on this?
That would be strength, absolutely.
Do I get a bonus to that because of the bear, or how's that?
You
how does
kind
this
of
work?
think so, wouldn't you? Yeah, let's make your bear maul ability is a +1 strength attack. I like that.
Okay. Well, that Oaks is that more
In
than...
addition to whatever your thing is.
All right.
Yeah,
If it's over and above,
it
then
just
let's try
makes sense.
8. It's not
8.
terrible.
Okay, so you hit it and deal your damage.
Here we go. 7.
Okay.
That's
Ooh, that's
very
pretty
good.
good. All right. So yeah, again, you slash gouts out of this thing. Now, that was a partial success. Here are your options. You've taken this one out of the fight, but either now the rest of them are going to attack Tommy and he's left to his own devices for one desperate dodge, or you can accept taking damage from one of the other ones, but it follows you out of the fight. So you'll be taking a hit.
Yep. Let's take option number 2.
Okay, that sounds good. We're going to give him a little plus to account for the one that you are fighting as well. So
Fair
it's
enough.
kind of a combo damage of the one you attacked, and the other one
Oof.
for 8 damage between the two of them.
All right. It hurts, but I'm still alive.
Okay, now, Tommy, there's just 3 of them, of these weird 2-dimensional wall creatures. So you and ready to slash. Now you'll be taking damage from them unless you can do something to prevent it.
Well, there's not a damn thing I can do to prevent it. But,
Well, so there is always the universal move, Defy Danger, where you can say, I'm going to try to avoid by jumping and rolling or fast talking them. That's not going to work. But there are different ways to try to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try and duck and roll between them and try and get a gap and a way out.
Okay. So that's going to be, sounds like it's diffusing your dexterity.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good then. I got.
I mean, I assume that's usually how Tommy will try to stay out of trouble.
Yep.
Dexterously.
10.
10. Okay. Yes, you drop, you wait until just the right moment when all 3 have committed themselves to the attack. Their weird weapons make a weird whisk sound on the floor in the spot where you just were as you jump and roll away and back now kind of behind the battle. And you turn and see now 2 of your teammates engaged, one with an axe, one with as a bear, and of course the Immolator up top looking down on it all. The 3 in the middle who just missed Tommy now reach out to link arms, and you see a weird energy swirling around them. The one you, Greasy Pete, just hit is staggering back, wisps of stuff flying out of it, but in a rage, it kind of leaps up. It almost seems like it glides through the air at you.
Jeez.
What do you do?
So I'm going at it.
Okay.
And let's see. I'm going to choose to do an extra d6 damage.
That's if you get a 10 or higher.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's what that is. That's all that is. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going for this thing. So hack and slash. Hack and slash. Ooh, 10 plus 2 is 12.
Okay. You have an option with 10 plus. You can just deal your damage straight up.
Okay.
Or you can deal your damage plus an extra d6, but expose yourself to the enemy's attack. That's like, I'm going all in. Damned be the consequences.
And so this is the one that I damaged before?
Yes. Yes. I'm going to say out of 10, I'll even let you get a little cleave if you overkill it on the one nearest. If you make this.
Yeah, I guess Growly Pete's going to feel the bloodlusting.
Nice. Okay. So roll your standard damage, which is D10, plus that bonus D6, plus your strength. Oh, plus the 1 for your special weapon.
So 9 and 1 for my special weapon is 10. And then 5 on the D6. So that would make it 15. And my strength is 2, so 17.
Okay. Wow. The one that was gliding at you, you have now carved across the middle. Its 2 halves fly apart and then dissolve into the air. And you carry through with that hit to the one that I haven't accounted for one yet. Another one that was going to come up. Oh, no, it's the one that was going to square on the bear. Yes. So you then spin and hit that one in the back, dealing some damage to that one.
Okay.
All right. We've got our Overwatch here. Timothy Burns, you see that Growly Pete just took care of one. Tommy got out of immediate danger. The bear has 2 now engaged with him. And the three in the middle that just that Tommy just escaped from, as I said, linked arms in a weird, and it's clear to you as a magic-y type immolator, they're doing some kind of magic stuff.
Okay. So I'm going to throw another spear to try to in the center of the magic thing going on
Okay.
to try to disrupt them.
Excellent. Okay, so your goal isn't so much to damage an individual one, but to foul whatever they're doing.
Correct.
That sounds great.
And hey, if one gets damaged in the process,
sure. Okay. I'm going to let you use your wisdom on this one because you aren't so much trying to hit the right place as like conceptually figure out where this needs to go.
Okay, got it. 9. I'm not rolling very well tonight, am I?
Yeah, but a 9 is a partial success. So what is that going to mean in this consequence? You did, in fact, disrupt them. They step back and they're going to pause for a moment and figure out if they try to pick up where they left off or just resume stabbing. The negative consequence is you see some of the energy from your brand like flare up and then get sucked into that bowl where Tommy's blood got sucked in earlier. And you feel the whole statue kind of vibrate underneath you.
Oh boy, that's not good, is it?
Okay. Barreled. Because you're held and you're a bear. Now, the one you mauled, you pushed back into a wall. Another one came up behind you and slashed at you. You're now squaring off with the two of them. They're both looking to carve you up as much as they can. One with this just nasty looking 2-dimensional hook. The other with a fairly ordinary looking 2-dimensional sword.
Yeah. So the one that I already mauled, I want to sweep it in one big swipe and smash it into the other one. Hopefully killing at least the one that I'm swiping at and otherwise upsetting the other one.
Okay. I could see that being a strength. I would let you sub in dexterity for hack and slash in this case because there's
Equally
some
good.
maneuver too. Okay.
12.
Okay. It happens just as you say it. So let's see. Go ahead and roll damage. You have the same choice now with over a 10.
Ooh, 6.
Of taking an extra D6, but exposing yourself to damage along the way.
No, I'll just go ahead and I actually got that 8 points was a lot of damage, so I'll just go ahead and just take the solid as it is.
Okay, so you finish off the one you had previously mauled, and again, it smashes apart and then dissolves into the air, but not before knocking the other one away from you just as it was getting ready to bring its hook down on your head.
Awesome.
Okay, Tommy, you are kind of in the clear right now watching what's going on. It seems like the bear has his situation well in hand, but there's the three in the middle, and you felt the bear probably didn't notice because it was in the middle of smashing and mauling, but you feel the thing quake for some reason. And these three guys, the three figures in the middle, you see that energy going up again, but they're starting from square one.
That one that got smashed into by the other one, by barreled, would I be able to possibly backstab that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Surprised or defenseless, but
and interestingly, they do behave as though they have a front and back, even though there are no discernible eyes or features.
Okay, well, I'm going to use my my cheap shot advanced move.
Nice.
Using a preciser hand weapon, my backstab deals an extra 1d6.
Sweet.
So I'm going to use my short sword.
Ooh.
I've got a dagger and a short sword, and I am going to backstab that distracted one.
You can straight up just deal your damage with that, or you can roll and get bonuses if you have successful
I could roll on my dex. Should I roll on my dex?
So you would be, if you dealt your damage with cheap shot, you'd be doing your D8 damage plus the cheap shot D6 without even a roll here.
Yeah. Ooh, but if I roll on my dex on a 10, I get to choose two things. No, let's just go with my regular. So it's gonna be a D8 plus a D6. 8 damage.
8. Okay, and that one already took the hit there. So yes, your subtle stab, a cheap shot, manages to finish that one off.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, we've got the three chanting now. They would have been done by now if not for the flaming brand interruption. But Growly Pete, you see there's not You don't know much magic, Growly Pete, but you know when something bad's about to happen, magic-wise.
Yeah, so I guess feeling the power of the carry through last time, he thinks that he's a lot more strong. Well, he's more powerful than what he is, so he's going to go for a head swipe across the three of them and just try and cleave into them to try and take one down, and then see if he can just carry the damage across to kind of knock them over.
Okay. We're going to treat this like a hack and slash, though usually if they're not actively defending themselves, it wouldn't. But it's got to be because of this magic energy pooling up. We're going to treat it like a hack and slash for the roll purpose.
So, all right. Rolled an 8 plus a 2 is a 10.
God damn. Stop rolling 10s. Okay. That is great. You slash across them. You'll finish one off with that without rolling damage. If you want, you can expose yourself to the enemy's attack, whatever form that may take, and deal damage to one more of them.
Yep. It worked last time. I'm going for it.
Okay. So you'll deal damage, but you will take a hit from them.
Okay. Yep. I'll go for it. Oh, that's a 1.
Okay.
And that's a 4. So that's a 5 and a 2. So a 6.
Okay.
All right, 7.
You dinged one of them. The magical energy forms itself into this spinning spike that whips out at you. You see the energy fizzle a little after the one dies, but not before. It shoots at you, lacerating as it goes.
Yep.
For 8. But the good news is it's not a pure magic thing. You do get to subtract, I'm going to say just your scale armor. I think it would bypass your shield after your attack. So 8 less your scale armor, 6 points of damage then.
Okay.
Blood drips from the fighter into the bowl and quickly gets sucked in. You feel the demon vibrate a little bit more. And yeah, you're getting concerned up there, Timothy, about the way this thing is shaking. If your partners bleed on this thing a little more, you're starting to put together something bad might happen.
Timothy is going to jump down to use his last burning brand.
Nice.
And he will do this by hand and basically just throw it at the group and hoping for some massive blaze to set all these things on fire.
Cool. Okay. Love it. I think we could probably just call this an old-fashioned hack and slash where you use your strength, or with your brand, you can sub in intelligence.
Strength is going to be better.
Okay.
Not much, but, All right, that's a 10.
Wow. Okay. It's a parade of... Oh, no. I just remembered something that I should have mentioned earlier. But we can backtrack that. You do enough damage to completely break their magical effort, 1. Finish off the already heavily injured one that Growly left there. And honestly, the other one, as it is bumped back, is going to be easy prey for the bear and the backstabber. So you are able to finish them off.
That sounds like a novel, The Bear and the Backstabber.
Bear and the Backstabber. Yeah, I'd read that.
Okay.
At this point now, those things disappear. The demon head statue you're standing in now is quivering and shaking more, not picking up in intensity, but it is noticeable to you all now. A quick look at the box, as you were intending, finds that yes, indeed, Tommy, this is the inscribed slate that matches the one that the priestess of the Iron King showed you earlier.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Okay. You make your way back to the door. You hear the demon voice in your head. Thank you for waking me again. Come with me.
Well, let's go back inside.
You feel a weird feeling in the pit of your stomach, almost as though your altitude has just changed slightly.
Oh.
Wait, run that by me again?
You feel like you're in an elevator that's just gone up very slightly.
Okay.
Are we outside yet?
You're making your way out. I think you'll need to defy danger in some way to get out before this thing gets up too high.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we all need to do defy dangers then?
I think so. And you can choose what you want to do. The options are power through. So you're like using your strength to pull yourself back out of this room and jump out the door. Constitution to just like take a blind leap, crash against the ground and not worry about it. Dexterity to get out fast. I'd take anything probably but charisma at this point.
Well, I'm currently
maybe.
a bear, and so I want to try and use just brute bear strength to get out.
Excellent. Okay.
Growly Pete's gonna help too, just like using all the strength to not only like try and push people up Harold to kind of get out too, like use him as a handhold.
Cool.
You know?
Okay.
Shoveling people up.
All right, let's have your roll first, then, Growly Pete, because that may give benefit to everybody else as well.
Let's see. So I just rolled a 6. Do I add my strength to it?
Strength, yep.
Okay, so that's a +2, so that's 8.
You'll be able to get out, and you can pick one character to help get out more quickly.
Okay, so we'll go with the Timblefingers.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the thing.
Yep.
All
So
right.
we're getting the bag out.
Tommy, how are you getting out of here with a little boost from Growly Pete?
Oh, dexterity. I'm just running as fast as I can. I got 2d6 +2. Am I getting some kind of boost?
+3
also?
now, yes, with that boost.
+3.
You can almost not fail.
11.
Okay. Yeah, you nimbly leap out. You realize you're a few feet above the ground by the time you get out, but you easily you take that boost, jump out, leap out. You hauled yourself out, Growly Pete, and dropped to the ground. Harold, bear form. How are you getting out of here?
Yeah, brute bear
Brute strength. Okay. I will give you a bonus point of bear strength here as your last use of bear.
9.
Okay. You do it as you come out, you convert back into our familiar Herald Druid form. The consequence of partial success is going to be a bit of damage as you hit the ground.
Okay.
To the tune of 2 points. Armor, I don't know if you have armor, but it won't help because it's thudding damage.
Fair enough. All right.
And I assume Timothy's so excited that you just stay in the demon head, or are you getting out too?
I think I'll probably get out, and what I'm gonna do is ask somebody to hand me down, throw me down that dagger, please, Harold. I think you
Okay.
had the dagger.
Okay.
Harold throws down the dagger. I use my handcrafted to craft a grappling hook
Nice. Okay. That's super fun.
and,
Ah.
and climb out. And then it says that I can unmake it as well. So I unmake it and hand it back to Harold.
Okay, I
Very
think
nice.
one part of this will require. It's super cool, handcrafted. Yeah, so there is still a defy danger element here. So I think let's have a wisdom roll to have you do this crafting quickly to get out in time and not take some damage on the way out.
Oops, hold on. What have I done here? Okay, I see.
What have you done?
Ooh, geez, what have I done? 8.
Okay. You craft it pretty quickly. You get out, but again, it takes you just a moment longer than the others. You get falling damage, just like the former bear. Oh, just 2 points. Not too bad. So both of you have kind of a rough landing on the way out.
Okay.
The demon head keeps going up and up and up. And eventually you see like torches and lights coming on in the town as somebody realizes what's going on. So we can kind of fast forward. You've succeeded. You've gotten the thing. You can quick sneak down into the city before while people are looking up at that thing and not down at you, and make the exchange with the very polite priestess of the Iron King and get your monies.
I like
Sounds
it. I
good
like
to
money.
me.
Woo.
Now, I want to take our couple minutes to do experience points. When I said I missed something, when you have a complete failed roll, you're supposed to mark experience. I know, Jenny, you had one. So complete fail is 2 through 6. I know you missed on your first flaming brand throw. So you get to
Mhm.
mark an experience point. Does anybody else remember an out and out failed roll?
Tommy had a couple. I never did.
I had
so.
one that was, I think, a complete failure.
Mark XP for that.
Oh, okay.
If anybody thinks of others, feel free. I don't know how often we're going to play this, so we don't have to be super nitpicky. Then we do our questions at the end of the session. When you reach the end of session, we could look at bonds. You can choose a bond that you feel is resolved, completely explored, or no longer relevant. I don't think we probably hit that. But XP questions. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
There were
We
giant
learned that
demons
there.
come to life.
What?
Sorry. I said that there were
So
giant
good.
demons come to life.
That's a biggie.
Yeah, and furry, growly warrior types.
Mm-hmm. And that the Iron King's here. Okay, so you all get the XP for that. So 1 XP. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so.
in aggregate, the weird wall guardians count as that.
Mhm.
Yes. So that's another XP. And then did we loot a memorable treasure? You didn't keep it, but this weird cuneiform slate is a unique and unusual treasure. So I say yes. Yes, you
I
did.
think so.
I got level +7 already. So that bumps me
So
up
how
a
many
level.
experience did we earn then?
So 3 XP from that, plus anyone who marked for failed rolls. The way leveling up works is you look at your level plus 7. So when you hit that point, so if you're first level, once you get 8 XP, your XP go back to 0 and you
Yeah.
level up. All right. That
Yep.
was sort of a half-assed little dungeon world outing.
It was
Oh,
fun.
Thank
was
you
fun.
very
fun.
much.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
night.
it was
all.
fun. All right.
Cool. And we actually pulled off a session. Yay.